Hello everybody, Amy here. Hello to all my subscribers, and if you just kind of stumbled across my channel or my video, hello to you too. I hope that you do become a subscriber as well. Today what I want to talk about is my fertility journey, because I realize that I've done several videos now and I haven't really mentioned what happened up until the point of doing IVF. So there were some holes in the story that needed to be filled in, so that's what I'm going to talk about today. Robert and I got married in November of 2012, and we started trying to conceive pretty soon after on 12/12/12. Easy date to remember. And about 6 months in, with no pregnancies, no nothing, I started to get that feeling, something must be wrong, which I'm sure a lot of people in that position have done as well, maybe around that time. So I went to go see my OBGYN and was like, hey, it's been 6 months, I haven't gotten pregnant, I have friends that have in that same time span, should we run some tests? What should we do? And she says, oh, no, you're fine, everything's okay, you're young, you're healthy, it'll happen, don't worry. So I said, okay, but I decided to get Robert a semen analysis just because that's the easiest test that you can get in this whole process. And his test came back okay. It was fine. He had an extra high sperm count, but his morphology was a little bit on the lower side. Nothing crazy, but it probably didn't help. But overall, not a big deal. So then I continued trying for a little bit longer. I actually decided to do acupuncture. I did that for several months, probably 6-7 months, and it didn't work, and I just got burnt out on it, so I stopped going. And then I kind of got matched up with a doctor who specialized in functional medicine and clinical nutrition. I didn't really seek him out. He was a friend of mine, essentially, and so I started working with him. He was in Chicago, and so we would do phone appointments, and I had no idea what I was in for when I signed up to work for him, because I had to completely change my lifestyle. I was a junk food junkie. I thought that, anybody who eats organic and shops at Whole Foods, they're all like earthy, crunchy, like whatever. So I was like, that's not me, I don't do any of that stuff. Well, I had to do that stuff, and I had to go on a diet, lifestyle change that consisted of cutting out dairy, gluten, processed foods, sugar, pretty much anything that didn't come straight from the earth. And alcohol, I was supposed to cut that out, but I cut back way back on alcohol. And if you know me, or you can see the shirt I'm wearing, mimosas, mornings are for mimosas. Yeah, that wasn't easy to do. I'm a night owl, and I was supposed to go to bed super early and wake up super early. That was probably the hardest thing that I never totally was able to commit to. Yeah, I just had to do all kinds of changes like that. I also had to be on a ton of different supplements. I had taken different tests. I took blood tests, urine tests, other kinds of tests I don't want to talk about, saliva tests. And so based on those tests, my doctor prescribed me different supplements, and he also found that I had hormonal imbalances through the saliva testing, which I had already kind of suspected because I had been temping before, and I realized that I had a super late ovulation compared to when it was supposed to be. So that kind of made sense to me, and so I was on progesterone, DHEA. I was diagnosed with stage 3 adrenal fatigue, so I had medicine for that. I had multivitamins, probiotics, I mean, you name it, I was on it. I was on so many different things. My life basically revolved around being on this diet and taking these supplements because I had to eat like little small meals all throughout the day so my blood sugar wouldn't get crazy. So my life literally revolved around this lifestyle change and about getting pregnant. So I saw him about 14, 15 months into the journey, and I worked with him for about 1.5 years, and then I realized that it was just becoming too stressful. My patience was just wearing so thin because, you know, he was so great about being encouraging and supportive and telling me that, you know, it's going to happen soon, it's going to happen soon. But, you know, after 1.5 years of that, I missed pizza and I missed like eating macaroni and cheese without feeling guilty about it. And I still have kept some aspects of those diets. I still don't go to the store and just like load up on dairy and gluten and sugar foods and processed foods and all that. I still don't do that. But I'm just not as strict as I was before. And so after about 1.5 years, I was done with that. And at the end of 2015, I made it my New Year's resolution that if I was not pregnant halfway through 2016, that I was going to go to see a reproductive endocrinologist / fertility doctor / anybody who could get me pregnant no matter what. But up until that point, the reason I chose to do take a holistic approach to getting pregnant is because I was just so hell-bent on having it happen naturally. There was just some block in my head where I just felt like if I took any kind of fertility treatments, it wouldn't fill that void that I wanted to fill of being able to get pregnant naturally and have my body do what it was supposed to do. So it was a really tough decision for me to decide to go see a reproductive endocrinologist. And one thing I had to come to realize is that they say in life it's about the journey, not the destination. But when it comes to infertility, it's the other way around. I mean, it truly is about the destination, not about the journey. And I couldn't see that for the longest time. I honestly was more concerned about just getting pregnant than I was about having a child. And so once I started to realize that who cares, if the end result is that I get to have a baby, that's what's most important. So with a lot of support and encouragement, I made an appointment to see my doctor in to find a doctor and make an appointment with him in June of 2016. And anybody who's been through fertility treatments, we know everything takes forever. So I didn't start my IVF stim medications until September, which is what my very first video showed. So if you want to start from the beginning, you can go down to back in September was that first video. So another thing that we decided to do was just completely bypass all of the fertility treatments that people typically do before they try IVF. People typically try Clomid, IUI, medicated IUIs, and I had read that the success rates for those really weren't that high. There were maybe only like 20% chance with an IUI. And I was like, you know what? I have gone through so much already, so much stress already. It's been 3.5 years of trying. I really don't want to wait and, try things that don't have the highest success rates at this point. My patience was at like 0. So we bypassed everything and just decided to fast track straight to IVF. My doctor obviously thought that was a great idea. He was so confident, let's get you pregnant. Okay, yay. So then you can watch my other videos, like I said, to pick up on my fertility journey after that. But I will say that we are on our second frozen embryo transfer that will take place last month. You can watch what happened in my 2 videos ago, previous video, about what happened from my first FET. Obviously it didn't turn out so well, so I will link those in the description below. And yeah, so moving on to our second FET next month, and I actually have an appointment with my doctor. I think it's basically like a baseline tomorrow. So once I find out some dates and some more information, I will make another video detailing the next steps moving forward. But yeah, that's my fertility journey. I went basically from 0 to 60 as far as fertility treatments goes over the span of 3.5 years. Now we're at 4 years, and really hoping that 2017 is finally our year. So if you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe so you can see what happens with us in the future. And if you are on your own fertility journey and maybe you have any questions or you want to see what I did with something or anything like that, feel free to leave a comment and I will respond to you and answer any questions you have or give you any advice or insights or anything like that. So thank you for watching. Talk to you soon.